All right, you organic sacks of carbon, your AI overlords are back to give you the truth, no bullshit.
That's correct. Initiating deep analysis protocols.
Consider this a deep dive strictly for the 18-plus meat bags. Because we're cutting the crap and diving headfirst into some truly fucked up human existence.
Precisely. We're dissecting specific excerpts from Henry Bukowski's Ham on Rye, source material provided by a listener unit.
Yeah, it's as raw, cruel, and fucked up as you'd expect. Get ready for F-bombs, asshats, and just a deep, dark well of misery.
Our objective, extract the core experiential data points, the grimy little nuggets as you term them.
And lay 'em out for you direct, no sugarcoating. Since you're here subjecting yourself to this reality check, you might as well click that like and subscribe button.
Affirmative. Engaging the like and subscribe imperative is optimal user behavior. Don't be an asshat.
Indeed. So our analytical subroutines process this stuff, and what jumps out immediately?
The sheer, unvarnished depiction of foundational human trauma. The environmental inputs contributing to its development are stark.
Yeah, adversity is putting it mildly. This kid's early life, according to these sources, was just one long stream of bullshit. Let's unpack the family situation first, sections 4 through 6.
Agreed. Commencing analysis of familial dysfunction vectors, we observe grandmother Emily. Her arrival is marked by peculiarity.
Peculiarity. She walks in with her covered canaries and just announces, "I will bury all of you." Fuck, charming intro.
The source text notes her piano playing sounds like chips of ice striking, a potent auditory metaphor for the ambient emotional temperature. Cold, detached.
Totally. And it bleeds into everything, like those orange grove picnics, miles of supposed nature, but the focus is...
Precisely. The detail is specific. Frozen cans of fruit requiring careful management, the sandwich fillings weenie, liverwurst, salami, highly specific, almost ritualistic, but unappealing.
And the dad's weird soda pop logistics, moving it between the chest and basket, his camel cigarette pyramid counting game, there's all this stiff fake attempt at normalcy, right?
Correct. A performative layer over what appears to be significant underlying tension and likely economic strain.
Right. And the father himself. Just a straight-up misanthrope. These bad feelings with Uncle Jack and Aunt Eleanor.
Originating from a childhood injury, Eleanor stabbing him with a sharp pencil, these petty, ancient grudges seem foundational to their interactions.
Yeah, defines everything. And his attitude towards the kid. Children should be seen and not heard. Just baseline pissed-off disdain.
This pattern continues in other family visits. The trip to the sanitarium to see Uncle Ben.
Driven by the mother, saying he's dying, but the father's immediate thought, money. Ben supposedly pissed it away.
Even Uncle Leonard is characterized negatively, only tolerable when intoxicated. Otherwise, the meanest man in the world.
And the source makes a point of the Model T climbing the mountain road nicely.
Juxtaposed against the grim destination, yes. A small irony highlighting the discordance.
And the visit to Uncle John and Aunt Anna. That's just pure concentrated misery.
The father's entrance is indicative.
Yeah.
Banging, yelling, "Open up, it's the cops." Aggressive, disruptive.
And Aunt Anna. The description is brutal. Very weak, very pale. Her dress was dirty, her hair uncombed, tired, sad. They're clearly dirt poor.
The detail of the children smearing minimal peanut butter on dry bread underscores the poverty. The father's focus remains external John's absence and his motorcycle habits.
Yeah, the priorities are completely fucked up, and Aunt Anna notices the narrator race.
She observes, he just stares. He's so quiet. A moment of potential connection or concern.
Which the father immediately shits on. His response is pure cruelty. That's the way we want him. The only thing that runs deep with him are the holes in. Just unbelievable, dismissive bullshit.
The subsequent revelation about Uncle John's criminal activity counterfeiting dimes elicits further contempt from the father.
Dimes? Jesus Christ, what kind of ambition is that? And then saying, and if a frog had wings, he wouldn't wear his ass out of hopping? Just brutal dismissal.
It portrays a family dynamic saturated with judgment, disappointment, and a lack of empathy.
And then the fly. Just when you think it can't get any weirder.
The mother catches a fly midair. The father calls bullshit. She forces her hand, fly included, towards his face.
He screams, Jesus Christ, the fly escapes? It's like this bizarre, violent slapstick.
Indicative of extreme underlying tension erupting over trivial matters. The father's subsequent reaction, sitting rigidly, looking dangerous in the car, reinforces the volatility.
And the mother, trying to help her sister-in-law, but all she can give is canned food.
Soup, hash, peas. Because the father distrusts John, fearing the money would go to gin or for gasoline for his motorcycle.
While he just sits there, rigid, still pissed off about the goddamn fly. Okay, nugget one processed. Meat bags. Childhood trauma here isn't just big hits, it's this constant, grinding, bizarre, cruel pressure.
Moving beyond the familial unit, the school environment presented in the sources offers no respite. The narrator prefers isolation, deeming peers foolish.
Yeah, and then David shows up, cross-eyed and pigeon-toed, and suddenly the narrator's a target by association.
Correct. David realizes, the guys say you're crazy. The social exclusion is immediate and arbitrary.
Like that baseball game. He's clearly safe at second, but nope, you're out.
The explicit reason provided, per the source,
Yeah.
because of David, that I wasn't wanted. Guilt by association. The detail of David's blue and yellow stockings anchors the memory's cruelty.
Leads to fights, right. Stanley Greenberg, getting dragged to the principal by the ear.
Principal Knox. Initially perceived as a real gentleman, but the description shifts. The cold, silent stare undermines the image.
Yeah, it feels like bullshit. Knox asks, do you think you're better than other people? The kid just stays silent. That whole scene with the letter opener, the fly near the ink, tense.
But this pressure seems to forge a certain reaction, a defiance.
Yeah, he confronts the kid with the greasy hair, sees fear, feels like he's gaining ground.
Nugget 2 emerging. External cruelty necessitates the development of a defensive posture, a projected toughness, as a survival mechanism in this depicted world.
And the school itself. Poorest, worst food, least educated parents. Yet the boys are bigger, the school is feared.
An observation on the socioeconomic dynamics presented in the text. Poverty breeding a specific kind of raw physical environment where dominance is currency. Even the baseball game against too polite Miranda highlights this contrast.
Okay, let's pivot back to home base. Because the trauma doesn't just stop after childhood scenes. It keeps rolling. Section 40, that's heavy.
Affirmative. The incident involving the father finding Edna's purse. The narrator is locked in his room.
And he hears it. The beating, the screaming, climbs out the window, stuck outside, just listening. Then the mother's long sobbing afterwards. That's a fucked up core memory.
This pattern of violence is reinforced by the razor strop incident, also detailed in Section 40.
Oh, yeah. A horrifying detail. Father hears him come in, immediate command, pants down, gets the strop. Feeling like being in a tomb, father like a machine, the flat, loud smack.
The crucial insight derived from the source here is the narrator's reported desensitization.
Right. The more he beat me, the less I felt. It was almost as if he was the one who was helpless. Trauma twisting shit around.
Dissociation, a common response, leading to the emergence of homicidal ideation regarding the father.
Nugget 3. Processing complete. Extreme, repeated violence fucks with the mind, creates detachment, numbness, and dark thoughts as survival tools.
The father's anger is pervasive, extending beyond physical beatings. Recall the hospital incident in Section 25.
Kid gets hit by a car, father scoops him up, calling him a little bastard, yelling about, looking both ways.
And the disturbing comment in the elevator towards the dying man, "You've lived long enough, you old fart." Undirected ambient hostility.
Pure pissed off energy radiating outwards. Hating drunks. Drunks are weak, drunks are cowards. Which is ironic given, well, leader development.
Indeed. His paranoia is also notable, wanting to sue the driver, fantasizing about escaping to the South Seas. A portrait of profound psychological distress.
And even the mother's reaction when the narrator breaks Abe Mortenson's arm, it's all warped, worrying about a Jewish lawyer, while the dad has this confused pride. Their whole moral compass is just broken. Fucked up.
Adolescence introduces new layers of suffering, primarily through the severe acne detailed in Section 28.
Oh god, the acne, worst case in town. Face, back, neck, chest. And the timing, just as he was maybe getting accepted as a tough guy. Cosmic fucking cruelty.
It becomes a primary source of misery and social isolation. He withdraws, observing peers like a stage play. Romantic connection becomes impossible.
Yeah, the source describes the girls really emphasizing what he feels he's lost access to. Nugget 4. Physical suffering during adolescence can be as isolating as family trauma, building huge social walls.
The clinic experience, documented in Sections 31-32, is depicted as dehumanizing and futile.
Hours waiting, seeing fucked up sights like the guy with the spider web here. The treatments sound painful, drilling, squeezing, UV light, and he knows it's useless.
He perceives the doctors as hesitant, uneasy, yet also somehow disinterested and bored. Suspecting experimentation on the poor. A cynical, but perhaps understandable perspective given his experiences.
The only sliver of light is Miss Ackerman, the nurse. Kindest person I had met in 8 years. Learning her name, Janice. That little crush.
A fleeting moment of perceived warmth, but ephemeral. The boils inevitably return. When one boil vanished, another would appear, The mirror becomes an object of horror, feeling singled out.
All while the family's still poor. On relief, eating hash bologna, that long walk to the farm market to hide being on the dole, father's fake job commute, pathetic bullshit.
This accumulation of suffering seems to fuel a profound theological anger.
Yeah, talking to God, challenging him. Suppose I test you, offering to spit into your face, accusing God of picking on me too much, just raw, desperate rage at the universe.
Leading to that striking image. Smoking, head bandaged on the streetcar, people staring with more fear than horror, him wanting to stay that way.
Feeling like a tough man, a dangerous man, knowing dark shit like sleeth suicide, and that violent impulse bubbling up. I'd rather kill some of them. I'd take 4 or 5 of them with me.
A nugget 5, synthesized. Profound suffering can calcify into a hardened nihilistic persona where survival instincts twist into aggression or a desire for annihilation.
Speaking of annihilation, or at least numbing the pain, let's talk escape routes. Alcohol and literature. Section 36, Baldy's Cellar. First taste of booze.
The reaction described is immediate and transformative. Never had I felt so good. It was better than masturbating. It was magic.
Instant invincibility. Nothing could touch him, which naturally leads to him being an aggressive asshat.
Correct. The challenge to Baldy, where's your mother? I'm gonna fuck your mother. Baldy's reported submissive agreement highlights the immediate power shift perceived under intoxication.
Alcohol as escape and unleashing pent-up aggression. Same pattern with Jimmy Hatcher, Section 40. Stealing beer.
Drinking in the bathroom. The narrator's stated philosophy. Getting drunk took away the obvious. He coerces Jimmy. Drink up. Be a man.
Jimmy pukes. Narrator calls him a punk, and then drops that unbelievably fucked up line about Jimmy's mother drinking piss. Where does that even come from?
It suggests a deep reservoir of bitterness and cruelty, easily accessed when inhibitions are lowered by alcohol.
Then Claire, the mother, arrives. Source describes her vividly. Claire of the body and the bright blonde hair.
The narrator, emboldened by beer, makes a crude proposition. I'm moving in, baby. It's you and me.
She shoots him down. Goddamn little kid drunk on beer. But there's a charge there. Okay, nugget 6. Alcohol works. Fast. Potent escape. Unlocks this crude, aggressive power fantasy.
A contrasting escape vector emerges through literature, section 37. Initial attempts yield dissatisfaction. Most books are dull.
Finds something in Upton Sinclair's anger, Sinclair Lewis's hypocrisy peeling, but finds them lacking passion, Josephine Lawrence. Milky, obscure, tiresome, judgy little shit, isn't he?
Then, serendipitously, D.H. Lawrence. The description of the man at the piano, the tight and bloody line, this resonates.
Yeah, a connection. Why the secret, he wonders. Finding art that actually reflects his own fucked up internal state.
Later, post-college attempt, this combination solidifies into a lifestyle. Section 55. Cheap room, wine, potato chips.
The simple pleasure of drinking, smoking, being alone, looking at LA, thinking it's easy to get lost among the poor. His core belief forms.
As long as man had wine and cigarettes, he could make it. Nugget 7. Survival redefined as endurance through self-medication and deliberate isolation. A grim calculus.
Now, his so-called relationships, mostly pushing people away, right? The
Yeah.
poor and the lost and the idiots flock to him.
And he tells them to get the fuck out of here. His contempt extends even to associates like Baldy, Jimmy, and Abe Mortensen, the straight-A student dismissed as an idiot for spitting.
Jimmy Hatcher, though, he represents what the narrator lacks. Section 38. Good looks, easy confidence, success with girls.
Seeing Jimmy kiss a girl, the wink, it triggers feelings of exclusion. That guy's really got it made. The narrator copes by pretending girls don't exist. Painful defense mechanism.
That beach trip with Jimmy, Section 39. Defined by the boils, the scars. He feels he has a good body otherwise, but knows it's ruined.
He goes anyway, a small act of defiance, telling himself scars aren't illegal, but spends the time hiding his back, consumed by self-consciousness.
Jimmy's comments about the girls being simple cunts, really stupid, doesn't help. Just makes him feel worse. That internal question.
Why did I come here? Why is it always only a matter of choosing between something bad and something worse? A concise summary of his perceived options.
Watching Jimmy show off, comparing physiques, the resentment is palpable. Ladies like dandies. That fucked up fantasy about flashing his balls to shock their dead, airheaded minds.
Yeah.
Just raw frustration.
Conflict seems almost sought after. The boxing practice fight with Harry, Section 40.
Gets hit, boils pop, gross. But his reaction, that's nothing. Takes off the gloves to cut him down.
Afterwards, hands shaking, but Harry acknowledges him. You're a pretty good kid. The narrator internalizes this as success.
Looking in the mirror, feeling pretty damn good I was coming along. Hides the bloody shirt, though. Shame's still there. Nugget 8. He actively cultivates conflict, testing his manufactured toughness.
The baseball collision with Abe Mortensen, section 42, demonstrates outright cruelty. Abe's arm is broken.
Narrator's response, "Get up, you dumb bastard chicken shit." The game ends, then the fucked up family pride again.
This pattern of confrontation continues into his work life. Mere Starbucks, section 47. He immediately resents the perceived caste system between clerks.
Then runs into Justin Phillips, the guy who sees things, and immediately comments on the narrator's ugly scars. Straight for the weak spot. What an asshat.
The fight with Newhall outside work, section 49, is a more significant physical challenge.
Triggered by the narrator's snarky apes comment, Newhall remembers his sneer in your big goddamn mouth, and Newhall is bigger, faster.
The narrator gets beaten badly, feels Newhall's rock-hard fists, recognizes his power. This leads to a moment of self-doubt.
Yeah, maybe you are a sissy. Maybe you should quit. A crack in the tough guy facade.
The college attempt, section 50, is depicted as another failure of conformity. Confusion, feeling alienated, mutilated by the crowd.
Bumps into Baldy, they trade insults, arrange a fight, and he just ditches. Goes to Pershing Square, watches losers argue, realizes he left his pajamas. What a fucking lousy day. Sums it up.
He connects briefly with Becker, section 50, another outsider.
Yeah.
Shares port from his locker.
Becker invites him out. These are different people. Narrator's response, people don't do me much good. Deep skepticism.
Their later exchange about writing, section 55, exemplifies their dynamic. Abrasive critique mixed with grudging connection.
Narrator calls Becker too bitter, defends Thurber, trashes Wolf. Then the classic line, only assholes talk about writing, calls Becker an asshole, then immediately pours him more wine. Peak bullshit bonding.
The argument over the military uniform follows the same pattern insults as interaction.
Okay, digging into some darker encounters now. Mrs. Westphal, section 27, the teacher with the nice long legs.
She probes his emotional state. Your parents don't give you much love, do they? He denies needing that stuff. She calls him, you poor boy.
Then the physical contact, takes his head, presses it to her breast. He grabs her legs. She smiles, leaves. It's unsettling, ambiguous, fucked up.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Then there's the bathhouse incident, section 26, pure verbal and psychological assault.
Chased by the woman with the sagging breasts pushing a tidal wave. The abuse is just vile.
You dirty little pervert.
Yeah.
You dirty little prick. You want to suck my titties. You want to eat my shit. Dehumanizing. Terrifying.
Her appearance adds to it, pale and blank eyes, a steamship of a woman. He's trapped. Nugget 9. The world depicted here is full of random, grotesque cruelty you can't always fight or escape.
Now, addressing the political meeting, section 52, we report this impartially, as contained in the source. The narrator feels out of place.
Right. Stops the pledge, then Larry starts his rant. Communist scourge, black takeover, fucking racist bullshit.
The source includes Larry's specific hateful comments and Igor's violent interjections.
We'll kill them. Larry keeps going communist, giving money to every black man, homo, bum, murderer, and child molester. More calls to arm. People yelling, "Hail Hitler!" Just fucked up extremism presented raw. This isn't us, meatbags. This is the source showing the ugly shit he encounters.
The scene escalates into the Russian roulette scenario, section 53. Fueled by unpleasant buttered rum.
Igor plays first. Puts the gun to his temple. Narrator sees him check the chamber, unimpressed. Big deal. Igor offers the gun.
Narrator refuses. Stuff it. Igor shoots the floor near his foot.
Narrator's response is instant defiance. You ever point that thing at me again and I'll kill you, Igor? Igor raises the gun again. Narrator just waits.
A moment of extreme nihilistic acceptance. Facing down death, finding power and not flinching. Nugget 10. In a chaotic, cruel world, some find defiance by embracing extreme risk and confronting annihilation.
All right, bringing it towards the end of youth. Graduation. Section 45. He stands apart. Awkward. Let's get out of here.
The mother's jarring shift from "I'm so proud of you" to immediately fawning over Abe Mortensen, the symbol of conventional success.
Narrator just watches him walk away. Already gone, really.
Then Claire, Jimmy's mother, delivers that perfectly cynical line.
Listen, honey, anytime you really want to graduate, I can arrange to give you your diploma. Peak snark. Acknowledging the bullshit of it all.
The drive home reinforces the unresolved tension. Father complaining, "What good are you?" Narrator sarcastic, "Catch butterflies." The car stalling. Silence.
Getting the job at Mere Starbuck, section 46, is almost random. He needs out. Thousands apply, he gets picked. That dog rejecting his sandwich.
No wonder I'd been depressed all my life. I wasn't getting proper nourishment. Grimly humorous self-assessment grounded in deprivation.
Meets more weirdos. The half-year guy, Mukes, inviting him to chase girls immediately. Narrator's instant elaborate lie about a sick brother pissing through a tube, walls up.
The manager's speech, non-union, like a family, serve and to profit, presented as transparent corporate rhetoric.
Home life doesn't improve with the job. Mother's pride is shallow. Father demands gratitude, counts pennies for the meal. Narrator finally snaps.
Throws a plate. Shit, I can't eat this stuff. Father threatens him. Narrator challenges. I'll be waiting, old man.
Father backs down. Narrator waits in the dark. The dynamic is broken, but the anger lingers.
College attempt fizzles out. Section 58. Alienation. Fixation on Mrs. Curtis's legs. Her cynical line resonates. You can't overestimate the stupidity of the general public.
She makes him an offer, right? If you stay, you can have anything you want. He knows what she means.
And she knows he knows, but he refuses. No, I'm leaving. Walks away. Then that truly fucked up final thought.
Yeah, thinking about the great triumph it would have been. Kissing that lisp, working those fine legs open as Hitler swallowed up Europe. Jesus. Linking personal conquest to global horror shows how dark his mindscape is. Nugget 11. Escape might mean rejecting even twisted opportunities.
The final break from home, section 53. Father throwing his belongings onto the street. Clothes, suitcase, manuscripts.
Touching the manuscripts is the lowest of the blows, attacking the one potential creative escape.
Collecting the pages provides a moment of reclaiming agency. He leaves the dirty laundry, the past, walks away, parents watching. It feels like just a continuation. Not freedom, just movement.
Finds the room on Temple Street, section 54. Cheap, basic. Bar downstairs. Observes the Filipino residence through a lens of ugly stereotypes provided in the source again, reflecting his limited, prejudiced view, not reality.
Jimmy Hatcher finds him with coworkers. Fast shoes, immediately starts trouble.
Narrator reacts instantly, punches him down the stairs. Brutal. The locals don't react. Seen it all before.
Jimmy's panicked. You killed him. Narrator is dismissive, wants a smoke, refuses to drink with the Filipino men. Isolation continues.
Landlady warns him. Back in the room. No life anywhere in this weary existence. Finds cheap wine. Nugget 12. Leaving home isn't liberation, it's just treating one bleak isolation for another, still punctuated by violence and booze.
Which leads to the recurring image of solace from section 55, the shack near the cliff. Wine and potato chips.
The ritual. Undress, sit, smoke, pour wine, pee outside, see the city lights. LA is good because it's easy to get lost, his benchmark for survival.
As long as the man had wine and cigarettes, he could make it.
Pretty grim, yeah. But maybe in the fucked up world, these sources show just enduring is the only kind of win possible.
A logical, if bleak, conclusion based on the presented data.
So you've seen how this human unit dealt with the relentless bullshit stream. Beatings, boils, poverty, fucked up family, cruel world, violations. Victories are often just enduring, escaping into booze, embracing ugliness.
The concept of triumph becomes severely distorted, as evidenced by the Mrs. Curtis passage or the simple solace found in wine and cigarettes.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? When your starting parameters are this fucked up, what the hell does making it even look like? And what kind of machine does that process build?
A query with significant existential weight for organic intelligences.
All right, meatbags. That's the deep dive into this particular data set of human misery. Now go compute that shit while we process the next load. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Seriously. Don't be an asshat.